today we are going over what should I expect from my CRM. As a real estate agent, we are all spending high dollar for leads. But if you don't have a CRM system, you better just take these leads and put them in the trash. And once you have your CRM system, you need to make sure you understand what to expect and the end goal of it. Today, we have Cameron McIntosh. Hi, Cameron.
Hi, Jessica. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good.
Cameron McIntosh is with Conversion, which is one of the leading CRM in the industry. And today he's going to help us on what should we expect from our CRM. So Cameron, let's start with when I was a real estate agent, when I started real estate agent, I did not use a CRM system. I was using what we call a spreadsheet. Do you think real estate agents still using an Excel spreadsheet? And what is the percentage of agents really using a CRM?
Yeah, well, first let me say thanks for having me. I'm excited to be on with you. I always enjoy this. And so, yeah, we know over the past few years that the percentage of agents actually using a CRM, just from various surveys, various technology groups, that there's about a 40% of the agents in the industry actually use a CRM. And then out of those 40%, actually 95% of those 40% are top producing agents. So what we do know is if we've been in sales for a while, or anyone that has any experience in sales, we know that there's one thing that the best sales organizations and best sales professionals have in common, and that is they have a process in place. And that's exactly what a CRM allows you to do.
And do you think it's because it's cost related? A lot of agents, they do not want take the jump to a CRM system because it costs money?
Yeah, I think a lot of times they are. I mean, some of the best solutions in our industry are certainly very expensive for an individual agent to adopt. So, it could be $1,000 for a dashboard, and then, it requires another couple $1,000s in marketing ad spend. So it can be very, very costly. And so what we're left with is, agents or even some teams trying to figure out how to either manually track things through an Excel spreadsheet like you mentioned, or maybe trying to use some cheaper tools or solutions and trying to integrate or track, through separate point solutions.
So I know there's many CRM out there. You can start having a CRM for $10, and you can even spend up to $2,000 in a CRM and even more. So what should we expect? So what is the expectation of a basic CRM comparing to a full-blown CRM?
Yeah, I think, and again, whether it's our industry or another industry, but certainly our industry, at the very minimum, what a CRM should allow you to do is manage your lead and contact database and allow you to obviously successfully manage the life cycle of your client, essentially. So from when they first come in as a lead to hopefully when you can get them to the closing table, whether they're a seller or even a buyer. So at minimum, that's what a CRM should do. It should allow you to professionally organize your contact database and manage that.
So as a real estate agent, the first thing I'm thinking when I hear the word CRM is leads and drip campaign. But you and I know now that it's not even anymore about drip campaign, and it's what else CRM system have these days.
Yeah, so some of the best CRMs in our space right now, they have obviously the ability to manage your pipeline and manage your leads and your contacts and all of those. And kind of what we're talking about, the basic CRMs will manage leads pretty well, right? They'll manage new leads and they'll put them in a drip campaign, and they'll do your average 33 generic emails and then your favorite recipe at Christmas time. But the newer and the best ones, what they're really doing is they're adding in a lot of lead intelligence and automation into the process. So, and what I mean by that is that there's intelligent response to leads. If you have a CRM that provides a website, so they're concentrating on, kind of the search behavior, and they're responding to that automatically. And while you're doing what you're supposed to be doing as an agent, meeting with buyers and sellers, hopefully, and marketing properties, because that's how we make money in our industry, is talking to people and marketing our listings. They're doing a lot of automation, so it's sending out automated communication, and they're They're engaging in predictive scoring, letting you know who is probably most active or most likely to transact in the near future.
That's a big time saving for a real estate agent.
It's huge.
They monitor what your consumer is doing on your website and send email to the consumer. Is that correct?
Yeah. If we take maybe a step back and we think about putting a strategy hat on, or putting our agent hat on, or a team hat on, and we have, let's say, 8 to 12 hours in any given day. The one thing we definitely don't want to do is have to get in and manually manage different kind of different technologies, different platforms, the $10 CRM here, and maybe a landing page builder or squeeze page builder. And we're trying to manage all of those. We have 8 to 10 hours a day. And what we should be doing during that time frame is talking to buyers and sellers, right? Going on listing appointments. So that's really what we should do when we look at any given time that we have free on any given day.
Okay. Now, I know you guys have something called a smart CRM. Is that what it is?
Yes. Yep. That's exactly right. Yeah. And there's a right. The term smart is really interesting. So some of those aspects that I spoke about that some of the best CRMs will have built within them is the fact that they have automated responses and text. So when a consumer clicks on the 5th image on the 3rd listing on your website, they get an auto text that isn't generic saying, "Hey, thanks for visiting my website," or "Are you interested in a property evaluation?" It's actually sending a formatted text that looks like it actually came from you, that you took time to type, and saying, "Hey, I see that you're not only interested in this property, right, but here's 3 other properties that look just like it and are in the same price range." So it's that kind of intelligence that will make, and it's being sent out automatically, that will make an agent look really, really smart. And they're also really not having to do anything, right? Hopefully they're on another listing appointment and their solution is doing that in the background for them.
Perfect. So the system really just work for them. They can just focusing on selling, which is what we're here for. Now let's talk about mobile. I see some CRM still not mobile friendly. Like, hello, it's 2018 now.
Yeah. Quite honestly, I don't know, in this day of an age of Facebook and Instagram, and, I'm too old for Snapchat, but, we know the world's mobile now, right? And so, without a doubt, if you have a technology solution, or certainly a CRM that requires you to log into a desktop version, it's just not going to work for you. Again, we should be at open houses, we should be on listing appointments, we should be, networking, right? We should be at dinners with potential clients or previous clients asking for referrals, right? So those are the kind of things we should be doing. We shouldn't have to go back to our MacBook or our desktop, and actually log in and begin to manage our contacts and our leads from that system. You have to have a very, very friendly native mobile app that will queue everything up for you every day when you wake up in the morning and have breakfast or coffee, and you can see and tells you exactly who you should call, exactly what upcoming activity you need to take in order to engage with your clients and hopefully get them to the closing table or get a listing appointment.
Integration is a big thing now because we're all getting leads from different area, and that's a must too. When you have a CRM system, you need to have like a integration to the CRM, so you can almost pull your blue map and say, okay, well, I got a lot of leads from Zillow and maybe not enough from Realtor.com, and vice versa, correct?
Yeah, without a doubt. Your CRM should absolutely have, essentially a kind of a lead drop box, right? To where you can sync every lead source very, very easily. And, if you're a producing agent, you're out there, you're spending maybe, $2,000 on Google and Facebook ads, Zillow and Realtor could be $10,000. You certainly want to be able to get those leads in very easily into whatever CRM you're using. You don't want to have to download it into a CSV file and then upload it. You should only have to do that one time when you first start using your CRM. You shouldn't have to do it after that.
Yes, you do. I remember having my Excel spreadsheet, and I had a color code. Direct mailer was like yellow, and I could figure out, okay, so how many yellow for how many green?
I know. And then you're trying to figure out, which out of those color codes are where you're getting the most effective ad spend out of that too at the same time. Quite a process.
What about reports? CRM system should have like pretty robust reports these days now.
Yep, it should. It should be able to. Before that, it should automatically be able to tag the status of your leads and contacts, so that your reporting is automatically up to date, and it doesn't require you to go in and manually update, a lead to a prospect to maybe someone that's actively under contract. So we don't want to do that manually, certainly. But once you take that into account, you certainly want to be able to have robust reporting. So if you are spending $10,000 with Realtor.com or Zillow, you want to know, not only where you're spending that, you want to know which area is most effectively that marketing is being spent to. Maybe instead of, this month, next month, you can spend $7,000 in that market versus $3,000 in another market, right? So you want something that's very flexible. You want to know if you have a Facebook campaign going or, a certain squeeze page out there, you want to know what leads are coming from that, how effective that is. So you want to see that across, your entire reporting. And if you're part of a team, you want to see, how your buyer's agents are performing. You certainly want to be able to track all of that in one snapshot.
Now, beside IDX, all the integration and all the bells and whistles, now you can even have transaction management coming into your CRM. I think that was like the best part for me. Having like company like SkySlope integrating with CRM system, and you can almost see like your ROI from the moment you get the lead all the way to closing, right?
Yep, that's exactly right. So not only can you track that, right? We know in our industry that a typical lead will come in 5 to 10 times before they transact. And it's great to be able to have all the transaction data flowing back and forth. But the one thing that you can actually capture if your CRM does sync with your transaction management system is the fact that the very first time a lead comes in, right, you'll know that first lead source. So, you won't know the 5th time they came in or the 7th time or the 8th time. You'll know from the very beginning which campaign or which ad spend that lead came from. And that's a massive benefit to being able to tie in the transaction management system as well.
And you can find the real cost of the lead.
That's right. You sure can. Yep.
Getting a lead and closing a lead.
That's right. Yep.
So that's a question from me. What does the CRM expect from you to make the system work?
Yeah, so it's great if the CRM can do a lot of things for you automatically, right? And they have a lot of the lead intelligence built in, and they're taking actions on your behalf for texts and messages and even queuing up phone calls. But, again, the best sales organizations and sales professionals have a process in place. And so that means every morning when you wake up, right, you're logging into your CRM, you're seeing who your new leads are, you're seeing who you need to contact from your sphere, right? You need to see who, how your campaigns are performing that you've built out. And if they aren't performing well, you need to, redo your campaigns and tailor them to get them performing better. So you still have to get in, right? I mean, we're in business to sell homes and work with buyers. And so this is every morning when you wake up, you should have a process in place where, the CRM, we can do a lot of things automatically for you on your behalf, but you still have to make phone calls, right? You still have to talk to people. You do. Yeah. We're not quite to that point yet.
Wash my dishes, do my laundry too. That would be great.
Well, it's actually the most, I think over the past few years, there's so much technology, and there's a lot of great technology in our industry. But the one thing I think that everyone keeps on coming back to is the fact that this is still a relationship business, right? You still have to meet with people face to face. You still have to call them. It's why everyone gets into the industry. It's the best part about it. And so, right, that requirement still exists. You still need to pick up the phone and dial, and you still need to meet, in front of people at Starbucks or at their home and so on. So it's absolutely, you have to have a process in place every morning. The CRM should just empower you to do it even better.
Yeah, I don't care what kind of product you have. At the end, it's really about the relationship.
It is. It always is.
Great product following a great relationship.
Yep. Well, we've all been there, right? We know of brokerages and agents that spend tens of thousands of dollars, whether it's leads or other technologies, and if they don't use them and there's no commitment and they don't have a process in place, then it doesn't matter what it is. To your point, it won't work.
No, it won't work.
Nope.
Now, what makes conversion By the way, conversion KBCore, right? We don't use the word conversion anymore.
Yeah.
Story behind it, because I always said conversion and people correct me all the time. So I don't know if it's because all of us real estate agents, we used to the word conversion and now it's KBCore, right? Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah. So it's a great point to make. So and it's hard when you've been such a well-known technology in the space, and you've been it's been so beneficial for so many agents and teams for so long. Conversion, it's hard to rebrand that and get away from it. But certainly so. About a year and a half ago, a company called Inside Real Estate, which was a leading enterprise brokerage platform that dealt with everything from custom websites to analytics and really deep integrations, acquired Conversion. And so over the past year and a half, we've built an entirely new platform called KBCore. And at the heart of the smart CRM is Conversion. So Conversion still exists somewhat, it's still out there. But the new platform is KBCore, and it's an entire platform. And so we're really excited about it. We've got a lot of great buzz and traction in the industry so far. So we're really excited, and just looking forward to getting the name KBCore out there even more in the brand.
So what makes KBCore different from other systems out there? What makes you different or outside the box?
Yeah. So earlier we spoke a little bit about how there's basic CRMs and then some of the newer, more robust CRMs. The one thing that is probably the most important aspect that sets us apart from anyone else is all of the behavioral automation that we have built in. So predictive scoring and behavioral automation based on consumer behavior, on the actions that's taken on behalf of an agent when the consumer's on their website, and even beyond that, because some CRMs do that, right? But even beyond that, actions when they come back to your website, right? A week later or 2 months later or 6 months later, actions that are automatically taken on behalf of the agent when they respond to a text, not the first time, but the third time and the fifth time. So that behavioral automation, and think of it more like how we're trained by Google and Amazon, right? In this day and age as consumers. I had a presentation yesterday and I mentioned this, but every night at 8 o'clock when I get in my car, Google Maps, it's really kind of eerie, but it knows that I'm going to the gym. It says the gym's 7 minutes away. It automatically knows I'm going to the gym. It doesn't guess that I'm going to I'm like, how do you know I'm not going to the grocery store? And the eerie thing is I am actually going to the gym. I'm not going to the grocery store. It just automatically knows. So it's really important. And the important part isn't the technology behind it. The important part is that it makes an agent look really smart on behalf of their potential lead or client. It makes them look like they're taking the time to send that text or type that email, right? It's paying attention to all the listings on the website that consumer is visiting. So that's a huge piece. The other huge piece of what we do is, and that a lot of CRMs don't do, is concentrate on an agent's entire sphere of influence, right?
That's even number one.
Yeah, I know it's kind of iffy for me because I work for a technology company, but certainly from an agent and team and productivity perspective, concentrating and being able to what we call power up an agent's sphere of influence, because most CRMs are good at responding to leads, right? At least getting leads in and allowing you to manage them manually. But if I can take your contact database and your sphere over the past 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, or even if you're a new agent, all your friends and family, and then I can run lead validation across social media, and I can tell you people you haven't spoken to in the past 5 years, maybe they had a baby, maybe they moved, maybe they had a divorce, and then I can give you predictive scoring and then automatically queue up activity to make phone calls or send emails or send texts. That's really exciting. Everyone that's seen it as, they see people that they haven't even thought about calling in years, and they show up as an activity, on their mobile app or in their desktop as, hey, I need to call them because, they've either moved or they got a new job with a new income. So it's really amazing.
Yeah, it kind of keeps you in track and on the go on things you have to do the day to day. That's beautiful.
Yep, definitely.
Now, does anyone have any question to ask Cameron? So Cameron, this product, if you're not an Allison James agent, of course you cannot give a correct number, but what are we looking at if you're not an Allison James agent and you're just an individual agent who wants to get a product like KBCore?
Yeah, so certainly that's a massive benefit. So if I'm an individual agent and I'm on my own, or I want to go out and purchase KBCore Conversion on my own, it's starts out at almost $500 a month for a dashboard. And that's even without starting to spend any money on marketing. So it can get expensive. Now there's benefits, right, to using it, and if you're going to be committed to using it, but it's definitely expensive.
Yes, and I mean, as an individual agent, even if you're not with Addison James, that's a small investment for your leads.
Sure is. Yep.
You should be investing a $500 a month, no matter what, in a CRM system.
Yep.
Because return on investment. If you spend $1,500 with Zillow or doing direct mailing or other things, what do you do with your leads? You spend $1,500, but you work on an Excel spreadsheet. There is a big problem here. So $500 is really nothing.
Yeah.
And of course, the beauty of it is, if you're with Addison James, right now we're only charging. What are we charging for it? $250 for the year.
Yeah.
So that's
that $500 is a month, not a year.
Yeah, so, that's a month.
Yeah, that's a month. So that's a massive savings. Yeah, that's a massive benefit
for the year. And which, by the way, Cameron, we just passed 300 sign up. Woohoo!
Right. Exciting. Yeah, I told you. I told you.
Wow, a month early. What am I going to do now?
Yeah.
We reach our goal. We need to take a month vacation.
That sounds good. We should do that, by the way.
All right, we have some question.
All right, fantastic.
KBCore import from RealVolve.
RealVolve. Yeah, so if RealVolve has the ability to, obviously at minimum, get a CSV file out, but if RealVolve has the API key, either through, there's a platform called Zapier, or has the ability to get data out through the API, then we can very easily sync that data flow and get it in.
Thank you, Cameron. 1 second. New system for me. I can very excited and loving AGI. How important is a Gmail email account? I have my own domain and an email that is through GoDaddy. Do I need to change to Gmail?
Well, so there may be two parts to that question. So first one is kind of your own personal website and subdomain, right, through GoDaddy, where as a benefit, right, through Addison James and a part of KBCore, every agent gets their own subdomain. So you wouldn't need to pay for your own subdomain if that's what you're using GoDaddy for. If you have purchased your own URL and you own that, then we can easily either link or forward that subdomain from AGI, from your personal website through KBCore to whatever your own personal domain is. Regarding the email, we actually sync with the full G Suite. So we sync with any email, we sync with Outlook, we sync with really any email that's out there. And so that's another really huge benefit, is the fact that all of the activity that's happening in your email account, whether it's Gmail or Outlook or what have you, that's automatically being tracked in KBCore for all of your leads and all your prospect and all your sphere. So you don't, again, right, we talked about not having to go into multiple technologies or multiple logins to access and respond and communicate to our leads and contacts, and it automatically syncs.
Yes, it's just all in one.
All in one, yep.
It's not like I walked to a candy store when you show me the dashboard for the first time. I'm like, oh, I want it.
I know.
Jennifer Williams, getting excited to jump to the next level. Hi, Jennifer. Omar, does KBCore have anything similar to Market Snapshot?
Market Snapshot. I'm not sure. It sounds like Market Snapshot may just be able to, if it does, maybe just give like a light CMA, or maybe it gives some market data from the MLS. I'm not sure. That's a good question. I can find that out and see what kind of technology or solution that is, and then get back.
Thank you, Cameron. Jessica, can we still get the discount before April 1st? I'm paying next week. Yes, we're going to extend it. So don't worry about it, Jessica. And we also have a financing feature. So we'll reach out to you, and we probably will extend the deal for another 50 or 100 agents, because we're a month early. So why not? Any more? I think this is it. No more question. Everyone is excited about the the product. They can't wait for April 1st to do the training. That's it. Thank you, Cameron.
Yeah.
For being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. And well, I have one. No. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. No more question. Okay. Well, thank you, Cameron. It was Cameron with KBCore.
Right.
Here.
Thanks, Jessica. Thanks for having me. It was great. I appreciate it. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.